So let's see. Okay, looks like we're recording. Alright, just recording this. Sort of a special news update on the map here. At first you're not really going to notice anything, but there has been something I've been spending a lot of time on in this map, which is the lighting outside. It's one of the reasons I changed the lighting outside to the much brighter midday thing. And I made a very significant change that'll make it look a lot better. Now, like I said, it doesn't look much different right now, but if you notice, some of the lighting looks different. Things look a little softer, and that's because I've compiled the map with HDR. I figured out that to get the nice dynamic shadows that most good maps have in this game, you actually have to compile on HDR and put in specific parameters to do that. Probably something most people who do maps for this game know, but because I'm still newish to CSGO in specific, I didn't. But anyway, most everything else looks pretty much the same. It's just there's HDR now, so a little bit less to the extremes of either way. So really light areas aren't going to look really light anymore, and really dark areas aren't going to look really dark anymore. Although, not to pat myself on the back, but I think I did a pretty good job of making sure that there weren't ridiculously dark and ridiculously bright areas in the map already. But, so as you can see, pretty much everything looks more or less the same inside. And that's because, really, HDR doesn't have any huge effects on the way lighting inside of the map is done. It's mostly outside. And you get a sneak peek of that here, as you can see. There's this really nice beam of light coming down. I'm going to put some dust motes and shit on there to make it look a little better. Before, this was just kind of a big bright blur in earlier beta versions. But, and that's because HDR makes the outside lighting a lot better. So for instance, if I open this door up here, you get this really nice effect where the light comes beaming in like that. And you get all this bloom because of how bright it is outside. It's like your eyes are adjusting. But other things you'll notice are like the props and stuff have much nicer shadows coming off of them. Not that it matters over here because this is an area that you don't normally access. This is all player clipped. This particular version, I did not compile on the highest settings, so certain things like the props do not have the best lighting they could have. So they will look even better in the final compiled version of the second beta. So if you go outside again, you see much better looking shadows on things. Down here especially, because you get these fences and everything, and down in the pit, which I recently retextured. Looks a lot nicer. Makes me feel a bit silly too, because I actually changed the whole lighting scheme of this map to try and get better shadows by making everything much brighter, but it turns out that wasn't even the problem. So I might actually change the map all the way back around to the original afternoon sunlight that I had. So we'll just have to see. But yeah, you see that. There's another place you can see it over here. This door is actually accessible right now, but this might change, so keep that in mind. This looks cool too, watch. I wanted to lock that door just for gameplay purposes and stuff, but that, I don't know, that just looks too cool. It's not a big deal, but if you're someone like me who's used to really old source engines with really shitty baked-on lighting, that's pretty cool. So out here, you'll notice it in little things like, especially these trees, especially like the beta version did not have really nice shadows coming off of these trees like this, so that looks really cool. And then off of things like this lamppost here, all the little static props now cast proper shadows. Again, these cars will look better when I compile well, actually, this police car model just looks like shit. I'm probably going to have to replace this. But these cars will look better when I compile with the static prop lighting on, which is one of the settings I did not compile on. You notice the shadow does not cast on this car because I don't have that parameter set. So yeah, that's pretty much all there is to that. I'm just explaining why it's been so long for this this current version to come out. I thought it was going to be something simple, but a lot of the problems I had been running into earlier turned out to be stuff that took me a lot longer to figure out. A lot longer than it should have, because there's not a lot of online documentation for this game. You know, I tried Googling these things and I come up with nothing. So, you know, I have to figure all this shit out on my own, which is annoying, to say the least. Oh, I need to fix that. What else is new? Well, I had the music in the club working, but it's not working again. And I think that's just because I don't have the sound files pack ratted into the map. I'm gonna try. I'll actually try pack ratting them in after I'm done this little video here, and I guess you'll see an ending segment of this video if I get the music working. So there's that, and there's also I changed the way the war date timer works internally. You're not really going to notice a difference out here, but this also has custom sounds, which again I'll show if I can get them to work. That's interesting. They're not throwing an error this time. Well, yeah, but anyway, I'll show you how that if that works. I'll show you how that sounds. But now everything's nice and labeled down here too, so you don't get people running around pressing random shit. And you're supposed to be able to abort the countdown, but that isn't working for some reason, so that's something else I'll have to fix. So yeah, I don't think there's really much more to it than that. I'll cut this video off, and like I said, there'll be an ending segment if I can get that music to work.